Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Twins today is Tom Klawitter, whose record is 2-3 with a 2.75 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Danny Jackson, whose record is 1-0 with a 3 ERA. Okay, we had a fairly successful series versus the Indians. And in fact, if you go all the way back through the second game of the series versus Baltimore, we've started putting up some runs, as we should, especially against Cleveland and some of the weaker Baltimore pitchers. We scored, what is that, 29 runs versus Cleveland. So I feel good about our offense. Our pitching has been suspect, although we have one of the top ERAs in the American League. So we had a good game yesterday. We had a couple of home runs, one from Greg Brock, one from Kennedy. There were 3 Tigers that were listed as tired. We played them anyway, and we not only did we win the ball game, but we have a day off. We've advanced to the first game versus the Twins. So everybody is healthy, everyone is rested, and we are playing the worst team in the American League. If we don't continue our hitting prowess versus the last place Twins, then I don't know if there's any hope for us. We're 2 games above 500 now. We're on the right track. We've made some, minor league adjustments. We've called up a couple players, and I feel like, we are headed in the right direction. So this is going to tell us a lot, because after this series, we've got a day off again, which is great. And then we face Boston and the Yankees, the 2 toughest teams in the American League. So that is going to be a real challenge for us. So let's go ahead and get today's game started. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. You can vote for the 1969 Seattle Pilots Team MVP. We have that up on the baseball, Brainiac Baseball Card Breaks main YouTube page. Just go to Community. That tab says Community, and it'll show you the poll, and you can vote. Appreciate anyone who takes the time to do that. We've got Danny Jackson on the mound. He is making his second start of the season, as he is filling in for Dave Rozema, who we've put to the pen temporarily. And Danny Jackson had a really good start. First time out, of course, he's never faced the Twins. All of the bullpen is available. And then our lineup is our lineup versus lefties. So Lance Parrish will catch today. Chet Lemon is back in there in center field. We move Barfield over to right. We're going to give Glenn Wilson the day off. He is not listed as tired, but for whatever reason, as a right-hander, he does not hit lefties. I think he's batting like 125. So I'd love to see him get off the schneid, but maybe we'll just give him a day off today. And for whatever reason, Tom Klawitter always pitches us strong. I know he's thrown a couple. I think he threw 2 shutouts versus us last year. All right, and so let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Minnesota Twins. Batting leadoff in center field is the 18-year-old Alex Cole. Batting second in right field is Hosken Powell. Batting third in left field is Dion James. Batting cleanup playing first base is Cecil Fielder. Batting fifth at second base is Randy Velarde. Batting sixth and catching is Dave Engle. Batting seventh and DHing is Jesus Vega. Batting eighth at shortstop is Mike FISCHLIN. And batting ninth is the third baseman, Gary Cooper. A lot of rookies in there versus Danny Jackson today. Let's take a look at DJ. As I mentioned, he's making his second start. He's only 22 years old, and every start he's made, he's won. He's never lost yet. He's 1-0 this season. Got that 3 ERA. Now, he did walk 4 and only struck out 3. That's not great. Overall, his fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Of Ground ball percentage is 40%. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, but only 1 pitch is above league average. That's a slider. His fastball is improving. It's at a 79 right now. Overall, he is rated an 86. The 22-year-old left-hander goes to arbitration in 1969. There's no point in really showing you his log, but that's what he did versus Baltimore. We had him throw 111 pitches. Youch. Not a good job by me. Okay, let's take a look at the defense for the Tigers. Good everywhere you look. I love having Barfield out there in right field. It's his first start at his natural position. Everywhere else we're solid. Okay, looks like the Twins have stacked their lefties at the top of the lineup. So we got some lefty-on-lefty violence to start the game. Here's Alex Cole batting 145 as an 18-year-old versus lefties, and Jackson just dumps it. Curveball right in the strike zone. There's one down. Here's Hosken Powell. He's a veteran. Batting 270. No home runs. This team has a total of 8 home runs. 1-0 count to Hosken Powell. Slow roller to short. TRAMMELL tosses him out. 2 quick ones for Danny Jackson. Here is Dion James. 255 hitter. He has one of those home runs. Skying it to left field. And that will do it. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Tigers lineup rundown. Batting leadoff. Playing left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting second at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third at first base is Greg Brock. Batting cleanup, playing third base is George Brett. Batting fifth and DHing is Ken Smith. Batting sixth in right field is Jesse Barfield. Batting seventh and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting eighth in center field is Chet Lemon. And batting ninth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Okay, let's take a look at Tom Klawitter. 19th round draft pick from the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1980 out of Wisconsin. He was cut by the Dodgers in 1983, signed by Minnesota, and in 1985 he pitched in 7 games for the Twins, walking 13 in 9 innings, only striking out 5. That was his only season in the majors in 1985. The Twins cut him. He was signed by Minnesota in 1986. Toronto in 1986. And that was his last year in baseball. As you can see here, he's coming off his first full season last year where he went 17-11 with a 3.69 ERA. This year he's 2-3 with a 2.75 ERA. More walks than strikeouts. That makes sense for him. Opponents are batting .202. He's got 2 complete game shutouts already this season. His fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 44%. He's a 3-pitch pitcher, but only 1 is any good. That's a changeup. How do you get 2 shutouts on an 8-win team with only 1 pitch? I don't know. Overall, rated a 78. The 25-year-old lefty is arbitration eligible next year. Looking at his log, he had a shutout versus Texas. 9 innings, giving up 7 hits. He had a shutout versus California. 9 innings, giving up 2 hits and 4 walks. So those are his only 2 victories of the year. Strange. Okay. Let's take a look at the defense for the Twins. Oh my gosh. Have we seen a more inept defense? First, second, third, center, left field, all below league average. I don't think there's anybody playing out of position either. It's just, these are not your typical everyday players in the major leagues. The catcher is Dave Engle. What's his arm? It's a 78, so we can run on him if we need to as well. All right, here we go. We got Gibby leading off. He is batting .289, 3 home runs, .293 versus lefties, and he strikes out looking to start the ball game. As I mentioned, Klawitter, I'm sure, pitched 2 shutouts versus the Tigers last year. So he's got our number for some reason. Here's Alan Trammell with 1 out. Trammell rips it into left field. That's going to get down past the left fielder, possibly to the wall. We are going to go for 2, and Trammell is safe at second. That is Trammell's 9th double of the year. And we have a runner in scoring position for Greg Brock. Brock Nessmonster, he had his 5th home run yesterday. Crushing lefties. He's got 2 home runs versus left-handers this year. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Will Trammell score? He does score. It is 1-0. Detroit on the RBI single from Brock. Runner on first. Let's hit and run with George Brett. I feel like he's in a bit of a slump. Average is down to 271. Only 4 home runs, but he does hit lefties well, which is just weird. And a base hit into right field. He pulls the left-handed fastball into right field for a base hit. Brock goes to third, and we are on the verge of tearing one open here on Klawitter. Now, Smith, solid hitter versus left-handed. Let's see if he can just lift it to the outfield and give us a sac fly. First pitch swinging, and he pops it up. That's not going to get it done. Play made by the first baseman, Cecil fielder. Okay, first and third, 2 down. If we do not score another run, this is going to feel like a real missed opportunity. Jesse Barfield at the plate, batting .273. Yeah, so yeah, we scored. We had 3 hits. That's great, but that immediately makes me feel like we're in real trouble. If you can't capitalize, it's almost like the momentum shifts on a dime for that. We go to the top of the second, and we are up 1-0. Cecil Fielder leading off. And he is the only power hitter on this team. He's got 3 home runs. He's batting .315. And Big Daddy is only 20 years old. Come on. All right, here we go. 3-0 count. Yeah, this is so predictable. It makes me mad. I mean, this is exactly what happens every single time. Here's Randy Velarde. He's another rookie in this lineup. You know Fielder's not going. Yeah. 4 straight balls from Jackson, and then Velarde dumps it into center field. I say it every game, and I guess that maybe I've just played this game too much. I mean, thousands and thousands of games. But it is so predictable. It's just like there's no randomness. Another walk. Nope, a ground ball that gets past Brock. 1 run scores. They're going to score quite a bit right now on Danny Jackson. That is Dave Engle's 3rd double. There's nothing we can do about it. Vega flying out to right. Velarde with a 90 speed will not run on Barfield. Hell no, you don't. Mike FISCHLIN batting .350 versus lefties. If you've watched this series, you know I call him Mike Fishlips. And the first time I called him that, he hit a grand slam against us, a guy with a 70 power. We're going to pull the infield in again. 1-2 count to FISCHLIN. Jackson gets him to strike out. So we're 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like Gary Cooper is going to get a base hit and score 2. Full count, and he walks. That's not the worst thing that could happen. You walk Cooper to get to an 18-year-old left-hander. 1-1 count. And a ground ball to Trammell. We get out of it. Well, that could have been a lot worse. We go to the bottom of the second. Score is tied at 1. Here is my large adult son, Lance Parrish. He's shown some signs of getting out of his little slump. Striking out, not even close. 1 out. Next up is Chet Lemon. Lemon walks. I don't know if you saw that little notification that popped up in the corner here. It was somebody I've never seen comment before who is commenting on the Detroit Tigers series. I can't tell you how many people have commented on the 1984 season replay that we're doing. I don't think they've watched even a minute of any of my games to know what we're actually doing here. And of course, if you're a Tigers fan, the 84 Tigers are very sensitive to you, I'm sure. They are to me. But there are so many people who just want to like say, no, you're doing it wrong. Like the Tigers were great. Yes, I know the Tigers were great. I love the 84 Tigers. I was 13 years old. It was a big deal to me. So yes, I know we're not doing an exact simulation. I hope that message finds the right person. Because it's kind of crazy that people don't know what they're actually watching, and they immediately go right to the jugular, you know. Like, take a minute and like do some research. We go to the top of the third inning. Klawitter looked good that inning. Hosken Powell leading off against Danny Jackson. Fly ball to right. It would be nice to have Danny get a 1-2-3 inning here. That was a 13 pitch at bat from Hosken Powell, making him work. And then he walks James. Third walk from Danny Jackson. I don't understand. His command is a 95 and his control is a 72. If you have a 95 command, regardless of a 72 control, you would think that you wouldn't walk as many, but apparently that's really just not the point. Jackson strikes out Big Daddy. 2 down. Here's Randy Velarde. It's too early in the game to guard the lines, but I'd be thinking about it with James on first with all that speed. Fly ball to center field. That'll get it done. We go to the bottom of the third. Alan Trammell leading off. Trammell had a base hit first time up. 2-2 count to Trammell. How's Trammell only 1 for 1 against Klawitter? We've faced him so many times. Just another reason why this game blows chunks. Yeah, Klawitter's in a groove. He's got 6 of the 8 outs that he's had are strikeouts so far today. We will not score another run if everything is like the past Klawitter performances. We missed our opportunity there in the first. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Dave ENGLE at the plate. He had a hit first time through. Popping it up to first. There's 1 out. Jesus Vega up next. And, going back to commenters discussing how I'm doing it wrong with the 84 Tigers, it's really people only from Reddit. Like, that's the type of mindset. Like, we have Brainiac Baseball has its own Reddit page. And then I share the games on the Detroit Tiger Reddit page. And I think about 8% of my overall views come from Reddit, which is quite a bit. You know, it's great. And there are a lot of people who enjoy this series from Reddit. But it's also that Reddit hive, that singularity of mind that struggles to get past that people can be creative, you know. As Kenny Smith does! He pulls it into the right field upper deck at Tiger Stadium. That is his 7th home run. He's kind of doing what Cecil Fielder does for the Tigers once he gets to Detroit. All right. Well, it is 2-1 Detroit. And we did break through against Klawitter there. Here's Jesse Barfield. Barfield looking to go upper deck too. Strikes out swinging. 7 Ks for Klawitter. He's definitely getting right against us. And then Parrish strikes out. 8 Ks for Klawitter. And Lemon. He'd strike out. So, man. Smith goes deep, and then he strikes out the side. It annoys me because Klawitter is a nobody, right? I mean, he's clearly shutting us down, but I love to see performances that we don't typically get. And a 9K performance against us is still kind of impressive. It's very impressive. Doesn't make any sense, of course, but it is impressive. George Brett handles the ground ball. There's one out. We're back to the top of the lineup with all the lefties. 2-2 count to Alex Cole. He pops it up into shallow center field. Looks like Trammell moving over to make the catch. 2 quick ones. We could use a 1-2-3 inning here. Hosken Powell strikes out swinging. That's 4 Ks for Danny Jackson. A good performance so far. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. We got Whitaker leading off. Whitaker, Gibson, and Trammell. Klawitter's only at 63 pitches. For a guy that walks a ton, he is not walking enough in my book. He's only got 1 walk with those 9 strikeouts. Whitaker grounding out to short. Gibson dumping it into left field for a base hit. That's his first time he didn't strike out today. Now, do we go for 2 here? This feels risky. I'm going to say no. We've already beat Dion James' arm in the first inning with Trammell's double. Let's hit and run. It would have been a 70% chance for Gibson to steal second. Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to let us. All right, well, we're going to go for it here. Klawitter, a left-hander, that brings the percentages down, but then ENGLE with his 78 arm gives us a couple points back. So this could go either way. We're going to give it a shot. 2 down. Gibson going on the first pitch. Low and down. Yeah, of course. Despite it being perfect. A 79-mile-an-hour changeup, and Gibson gets thrown out. That's why this game sucks. We go to the 6th inning. Did that screw us? That's the question now. Because sometimes the momentum will shift on that. It did there in the first. Let's see if it happens here. Starting off with a left-hander. James rolls it over to Whitaker at second. Danny Jackson coming up on 100 pitches. This will be his last inning. I'd like to see him get through these tough guys here. Cecil fielder. Base hit to right. Barely, apparently. Fielder's on first. That is only the 3rd hit given up by Danny Jackson. Randy Velarde up next. Line drive to right. Barfield making the catch. 2 down. Here is Dave ENGLE. ENGLE looking for his first home run of the year. And he's going to go to right. There's no way Fielder's going to score from first. Okay. Thank you. 4 doubles on the season now for Dave ENGLE. And we are going to pull out Danny Jackson. 103 pitches. Solid performance for his 2nd start. Only his 5th career start. We will bring in Roy Thomas. Thomas, he's been good. 13th appearance. 2-1 with a 2.40 ERA. Well, more walks than strikeouts. I don't like that at all. But he does have 10 strikeouts in 15 innings. Opponents are batting 170 against him. He's got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Ground ball percentage is 47%. His fastball is his best pitch. It's rated at 83. Overall, a 77. The 30-year-old righty is arbitration eligible at the end of the year. He would definitely be trade bait if we don't get things going. Okay, this is a big at bat. It's Jesus Vega. He's batting .250 versus righties. Let's see if we can get him here. Ground ball in the hole at short. That was a 3-1 count. And it looked like a for sure ball 4. We get out of the jam and we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Klawitter is going to face 3 left-handers. Greg Brock leading off. Full count. God dang it. Unbelievable. 10 strikeouts for Klawitter. You got to look at his numbers. This doesn't even make sense. He had 17 strikeouts in 51 innings coming into the game, if you saw the title card. 17 in 51, and he struck out 10 today against us. Again, this is why the game blows so bad. There's no consistency between the simulation and the gameplay. And I want to reiterate also that I'm plenty satisfied with seeing a pitcher throw 10 strikeouts against us. I think that's kind of cool. But where does that come from? How does that happen? If Dave Rozema threw 10 strikeouts in a game, I'd be like, what the hell's going on? I don't think he ever did that in his career. Ken Smith will walk. Finally, a second walk. Did not want to pitch to Smith after he took him deep back in the 4th inning. Okay, here we go. Jesse Barfield. He's 0 for 2, struck out twice. We might have a bunch of golden sombreros today. Ground ball to third. We'll go the short route to second base to get the force. We go to the top of the 7th. Tigers are up 2-1. We'll take a look at the in-game stats. Nobody's got 3 strikeouts yet that I'm aware of. Mike FISCHLIN leading off. We're going to leave Thomas in there for one more inning. Or at least 2 more batters, I guess I should say. 0-2 count to FISCHLIN, and he gets a base hit to right, of course. Why wouldn't the leadoff man get on? FISCHLIN on first. Here's Gary Cooper. We could use a double play. 2-2 count to Cooper, and he strikes him out. So that'll do it for Thomas. Let's bring in Comstock, man. Kami is the true Klawitter. He's got 16 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings. No record, 1.86 ERA. Fastball tops out at 92 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 46%. I don't know how he's doing it with 2 pitches, and neither one of them are particularly great. Overall is 74. The 28-year-old lefty is a free agent at the end of the year. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's getting it done. We've got FISCHLIN on first. Again, this would be a good idea to guard the lines, but I'm going to trust Comstock. He's going to go after him. 0-1 count. And a base at the center, yeah. So this is where we lose it right here. And there's nothing we can do about it. So we'll pull the infield in. Not that it's going to do us any good. And a ground ball to short. That looked like it was going to go through. The only play was to go to first. Cole, 97 speed. How many stolen bases does he have? He's got 11. All right, 2 down, and Dion James is up. This will be the last batter for Comstock. This is going to go sideways, though, right? 0-1 count. Yeah. So that's the ball game right there. James gets the double. It's 3-2. And, of course, the worst team in baseball against the best left-handed pitcher in baseball gets 2 hits. So, again, this is why the game blows chunks. I guess we'll bring in Montgomery. Doesn't matter now. 2-2 count. And a strikeout. All right. Well, we tried. Now we're just pushing buttons to get the game over with. Yep. Yeah, Klawitter's going to beat us again. He always does. It's unbelievable. And remember, that rally started on a 2-out single against Thomas. So Thomas gets one of those runs against him. Now the game is just going to burn through it. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Klawitter's still in there, of course. Base hit for Trammell. The Twins have more hits than the Tigers all of a sudden. Runner on first. And it was the Gibson, again, keep in mind, it was the Gibson caught stealing in the bottom of the 6th. That was the momentum shift. Back-to-back singles. I mean, Brock hitting left-handers. Well, that's amazing. We'll hit and run here. Base hit up the middle. Brett comes through. The game is tied. All hope is not lost. First and second. 1 out. And Ken Smith, he's got a home run today. 0-1 count. And he pops it up. That sidearm curve is tough. All right, first and second. 2 down for Jesse Barfield. Barfield 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts today. He is due. Oh, he gets plunked in the waist. Right in the hip. That'll leave a mark. I mean, it's an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. They're going to bring in Frank Ufibia. This is his 10th appearance. He has not pitched in the majors since 1981. He's 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA, 3 Ks, and 9 1/3. Opponent's batting .289 versus Frank. Fastball tops out at 87 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 44%. His palm ball is rated at 89. That's all he's got, really. Overall, a 77. The 24-year-old righty is arbitration eligible next year. Oh, no. My large adult son will not bat when we've got Terry Kennedy waiting in the wings. TK coming in, batting .313 versus righties. He had a home run yesterday. Full count. And he walks. That's the go-ahead run. I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful, but, I mean, this has definitely gone the wrong way. We got the go-ahead. And we're going to let Chet Lemon bat. I would normally not let him bat here. But I don't know. Why not? Oh, and he walks and scores a run. That's going to do it for Ufibia. Oh, man. Well, they're going to bring in Mike Kinnunen. This is his 3rd appearance. 1-0, 3.86 ERA. 2 strikeouts and 2 1/3. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Ground ball percentage is 49%. Fastball rated an 86. Pretty solid. That's all the pitch he's got. Overall rated a 73. The 26-year-old lefty is arbitration eligible at the end of the year. Lefty on lefty, but Lou hits lefties well. 1-0 count to Lou. And a ground ball to second. Velarde will end the inning. So we score 3. We jump back in front. I mean, I feel like our starters never get wins anymore. Dave Smith will come in to get the save. 15th appearance. 0-1 with a 2.57 ERA. 16 strikeouts and 14 innings pitched. That's pretty good. 6 saves, 1 bluey. Fastball tops out at 88 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 50%. That's always good. His fastball is his best pitch, rated at 89. A sinker at 81. Overall rated at 84. The 29-year-old righty is a free agent at the end of the year. Okay. It's FISCHLIN, Cooper, and Cole. Defensively, we are good. Here we go. FISCHLIN, 2-1 count to FISCHLIN, and a base hit. Of course, it can never go easy. So they're going to get their one run here. So let's just give it to them. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. So let's just keep giving them what they want. A double play. So they're going to get the one run here on Powell. Nope, that'll be it. Fly ball to center field. Sometimes it just works in your favor. Tigers win 5-3. Head shakes, butt slaps, sloppy steaks. Sloppy game. We've won 3 in a row, and we are now above 500 for the month. The Mets want to make a deal with us. They are giving us, for Scotty Madison, a guy that I don't care about, although he has a great rating. The best player in the group is Rusty Tillman. There's Rusty Tillman. A first baseman with a ton of power. 23 years old, has not played in the majors yet. Batting .331, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, not good defensively. Well, his fielding's in 87. I mean, I like this guy. I couldn't tell you who he is, and we certainly don't really need him, do we? With Smith and Brock. He's under contract in 1987. They're going to throw in Mike Fitzgerald, who was in the major leagues in 84. He's in single-A ball forever. That's why he hasn't really developed. He's just stuck down there. He's got an 82 arm. And we got so many catchers in our minor leagues. And he's just as mediocre as everybody else that we have. Sergio Ferrer, he was out of baseball by 1980. Even the game knows that. And he's not worth anything. I mean, I kind of like Rusty Tillman. What does Scotty Madison offer? He could catch. Defensively, not great. He has power. He's good at everything except for contact. I don't know. I mean, he's not going to do us any good. He can't play defense. Let's talk. I'm willing to talk about this. I can tell you right now, we don't want him, and we don't need him. Now, in a 1-for-1 deal, the trade is already balanced. Do the Metropolitans have anybody? You know, like I almost need like a switch hitting middle infielder or something. Dave Parker is a 73. He's got 2 years left on that contract. He's in the minor leagues. That's ridiculous. There's Ricky with his $2 million deal. You know, let's see. Do they have a reliever? Even if it's like a schlub in the 70s. Let's take a look here. Okay, so they've got Rick Ownby. This is their starting 5, and then these are their relievers. None of those. What about Terry Leach? They're not willing to trade Terry Leach. What about Juan Berenguer? He was a Tiger. They're not willing to trade Juan Berenguer. What about Walt Terrell? No. Oh, they're being stingy. Well, Mark Bombach. They might be willing to trade him. Let's look up Mark Bombach. Oops. Okay, well, he was out of baseball by 83. A 77, not horrible. No good pitches. And actually, he's kind of a spot starter. So that doesn't really help us. This is riveting, I'm sure. Neil Allen is an 84 and only making 4,700? They might trade Neil Allen. I like Neil Allen. Oops, let's get rid of Bombeck. Neil Allen, he is 26 years old. He was on the Cardinals at this point. All of his numbers are okay. Good rating, a good fastball, fly ball pitcher. Let's see if they will throw in Neil Allen. Well, they're gonna. No, we don't have enough money. They're not gonna like that at all. Okay. What about Rick Anderson? Mr. Anderson, 79. Overall rating, curveball is good. Ratings are not great, although he's never walked more than he struck out. So there's that. Okay, let's see if they'll toss in Mr. Ricky Anderson. He could be the next Roy Thomas for us. We're like trying to poach somebody who's affordable and could actually give us a little help and depth in relief. I mean, they have a lot of players down here that they just would not part with without us giving up something big in return, and we don't want to do that. All right, let's see. Will they... Oh, okay, they want money. Will they just take it as is? Oh, yeah. He doesn't like it at all. Well, you're not going to be a dick about it. How much money do we have to give up? Cash money homes? I'm not giving up 3. I mean, I would be giving up most of our money. Oh, damn it. All right. I guess we're going to do a 1-for-1. And I feel like we have the better of the deal. We got the younger player. He's got more power. He could play a position that we could use, or we could turn around and trade this guy for somebody better. So we're going to do it. Okay, that's our first in-season trade this year. And you saw it live. Okay, let's take a look at standings first and foremost. We are 3 games above 500, 3.5 games back. I mean, the game's never going to let us get too far away. And if we can win these last 2 games versus Minnesota, we might be right there when we go to play Boston and New York, which is all you can really ask. Let's take a look at the National League. Philadelphia and Los Angeles are both winning their divisions. Okay, let's take a look at headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. Angels closes gap. No, that shouldn't be plural. Or is it plural because Angels is plural? Somebody smarter than me can figure that out. All right, Dave Frost gave up no earned runs. Rest in peace, Dave Frost. Win over San Francisco puts Los Angeles in the lead. Tim Belcher struck out 8. Nicely done. Milwaukee's Dave LaPointe hurls a 6-0 shutout. That's good. They don't have any pitchers. Everybody they have is close to death. And then Detroit closes the gap. 5-3 victory over the Twins. We should have dominated that game. Danny Jackson got ripped off. Greg Brock. I mean, we won the game. California, there's another trade. The Angels trade Mark Leonard to St. Louis. California gets Keith Hernandez? What? Oh, Dwayne Ward, the closer, goes to St. Louis as well. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at the transactions. We'll look a little deeper into that. Okay, so yeah, there were 2 trades today. Keith Hernandez, who was, of course, was on the Mets by 84, but He leaves St. Louis, and he goes to the Angels, and he's not even in the major leagues. He's on the Edmonton Trappers. That is so stupid. Why would you do that? Why would you take on $800,000 in payroll for a guy that's going to be on your team for 2 years and be in the minors? Who's batting .320? This game is terrible. Okay, then Dwayne Ward, a future potential closer. And Mark Leonard, left fielder, who is also in single A. That makes no sense at all. Well, then here's our trade, which makes a little bit more sense. It's kind of like just swapping quadruple A players, really. But we got Rusty Tillman, and he'll be in triple A for the moment. He's definitely coming up at some point this year. Scotty Madison would have played sooner or later for the Tigers this season, but I don't think he's got anything we can use. I don't like the defense. If you can't give me an 80 defense, what am I going to do with you? You know? All right. So that'll do it. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Player of the game. That's a tough call. I think it feels like a tough call. I mean, so many mediocre players today. Maybe we should give it to George Brett. Terry Kennedy had the pinch hit RBI that won the ball game, actually. But not only did George Brett go 2 for 4 against a left-hander, but he drove in a run, and he did not strike out. So I think we're going to give it to George Brett. Trammell had the double. Smith had his 7th home run, team leading. Gibby got tossed out in the base path. Jeff Montgomery will get the win. Montgomery, is that his first career win? It is, so that's his first career win, for what it's worth. And Dave Smith gets the 7th save. Tom Klawitter strikes out 10 in 7 2/3 inning. Frank Euphemia comes in here and just he just took a bat to him as he was leaving the mound. I mean, walked the two guys he faced. Those runs scored that was against Klawitter. I mean, that's cruel. That is rude. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to come back tomorrow with game 2 of the 3-game series. Until then, everyone have a great day.